freer. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier. It really is. I do have to... Oops, sorry. No, you're okay. You can do that there. I have to figure out how to update the settings in some of these places, though. And don't forget to pause the music. Woohoo! And we're live. I'm loving that. Okay. General. There we go. Again, as I said, was not. Yay! Ludi, lordy, ludi. I've got so many messages I've got to get back to. Every time I log in, I'm like, that's right. I'm supposed to be getting back to people. No, you don't have to. Absolutely no pressure whatsoever. Sound ain't linked. Oh, sound's not synced. I don't know what to do about that because unfortunately there is no external microphone. So, probably because my phone sucks. I don't know. It's an oldie. It's an oldie but a goodie. I definitely belong and have belonged for a very long time to the use it until you cannot anymore club. And I, in fact, still have my old phone that I will eventually, when the ADHD is not so overwhelming one day, get around to just replacing the part in it that's broken so I can continue using it as a backup phone. Because, you know, having a backup phone is handy. And my backup phone that I had before that, I gave to a friend who had broken their phone. They'd lost their phone. So I haven't ever actually thrown a phone away. I think that's worth celebrating. I also need to change the tone of that light because I look very pasty. I look strangely pasty. No, over one more. Nope. Yep, there. One more. Thank you. Perfect. Is that perfect? It's not so good on here, but it is much better on here. We're going to stick with that. It's fine. We're going to stick with that. Here we are. Nope, that's not going to turn on. Great. Perfect. Now I need to keep an eye on that. 2, didn't I? Too many things to keep an eye on. Yeah, that's gone way down. So we're going to unplug that one. And we're going to plug that one in, but not plugged into the computer. Oh, should we plug it into the computer? No, not plugged into... No, not plugged into the computer, because if you plug it into the computer, it'll hook the camera up again. That's... I do enjoy talking to myself. I am quite good company. It is one of the reasons I'm able to live stream so proficiently, because, yes, I can easily just talk to myself for hours, which is a skill, I must say. It is a skill. Ooh, that's odd. There we go. And we'll try this again. If the sound's not working on here, you can, of course, go to the other places where the sound is synced, because the sound will be synced other places. And then we're going to be working on this. This is the plan. This is our lovely plan. I do have to figure out how to... I got to figure out how to do that. There we go. Figure out how to do that one. That's the way. All right. Allergies. Someone's got allergies. Oh, I got comments. What's going on? I have got to flick over to the main page. Georgia, Jazzy, yes. We at the void. We at the void. We got void time this evening. Now, what do you reckon? I have got a lot to do. We want chicken treat. Drew. Oh, now you made me hungry. I haven't actually, do you know what? I have been struggling at the moment with my appetite so badly. I kid you not, I have a half-finished ice cream in the freezer from earlier today. What's wrong with me? What's going on? I might finish that ice cream right now, though, because I broke my toe. I broke my toe. Are we going to be back tomorrow night still? Yes, of course, Georgia. Do not stress. We will still be back tomorrow night. We're doing a special stream tonight because I didn't stream yesterday. So this is a makeup stream for failing yesterday. This is not in any way. We're not going to miss out on any other. We're going to be doing Void after dark, probably most nights this week in the lead up to this weekend. I haven't had the treat since like 2016. I did have, when they brought out the loaded fries, the gravy loaded chicken fries, I drove through the treat. I did a drive through at the treat when they brought out the chicken gravy loaded fries. Have you had the chicken gravy loaded fries? You are missing out. It is the saltiest, most over-the-top, ridiculous experience. Hello, Wael. Hello, hello. This is the dress that we're going to be auctioning off on Saturday. So, details are on my Ko-fi, which you can find, you know, in the places where you find the links. For everybody who is wondering, you can also find... Oh, you can't find the places and the links on this profile. I'm going to have to fix that. Hang on 1 second. Gosh, the dress, yes. Last time you were in WA, they don't have the Chicken Treat Elves places. They don't. Do you have Red Rooster other places? Notice us. I'm so sorry, Georgia. What's this weekend? I can't stick around because I'm 3 seconds away from going to sleep, but what are we doing live on a Tuesday night? Yeah, making up for Monday. I'm so sorry. No, the support structures in this country are not mentally warming, Juzzy. I have to agree. Ed, hello. Yes, this is what's cooking. This is what's crack-a-lacking. So we've got the final sort of structure done, and we are in the process of stitching it together. It's a WA exclusive. We're so lucky. We're so lucky. You do not know what you're missing out of with their gravy-loaded chicken fries. Pretty much, if you just put, what's on the weekend? 24-hour live stream, Georgia. 24-hour live stream this weekend. We are having a 24-hour live stream. I know. It's my birthday. It's my birthday this weekend. I'm so excited. Oh, that's not charging either. Woo! Nope. Nothing. Wow, but your beautiful fiance. Your beautiful fiance, hey? Though no, I do have to, I've got to make a green dress for her. You've got to, woof. Yes, very fancy dress. So, Saturday. Here I thought you'd be going to the football. Abso-fucking-lutely not. Abso-fucking-lutely not. Awesome, Georgia. My new delivery comes tomorrow as well. We will be celebrating together. I've got some street supply at the moment, but my new delivery arrives tomorrow. This is going to be getting auctioned off on Saturday on my Ko-fi. So if you would like, if you're interested at all, if you know anyone who is, feel free to share. I've been making it on live stream for weeks. I've been telling people about it. To be honest, unfortunately, I'm not known for my dressmaking on social media, so, you know. I need one of those people who does a lot of sewing to promote it for me, because the algorithm will promote their stuff in that sewing sphere. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. That's fine. You want to try it for me? You can do that. I am not going to say that out loud. Actually, I don't have an Alexa, so that's fine. Bye, Georgia. Have a good sleep. I have nothing at the moment and have work tomorrow, so I'm going to sleep instead, but I'll be back tomorrow on the weekend. Absolutely. We will see you tomorrow, Georgia, and we will see you this weekend. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for our party. I spent my last birthday alone crying on my bathroom floor, so I'm very excited to spend this birthday with all of you having an amazing time. It's going to be great. It's going to be fabulous. We're going to have music, and we're going to have guests. Oh. Thank you. in terms of, oh, my sign. Where did I leave my sign? I'll make a new sign. I've got paper here. I can make a, oh, I've got texter. I'll make a new sign. That'll work. Oh, don't stress. It was literally a month after, it was like a month after my ex and I had separated. We'd been married for like a decade. And it was a month after we'd separated. So, yeah, I was not in the mood for going out. The crying on the bathroom floor by myself thing was purely my choice. I did not want to be anywhere else at the time. Like, I don't think I could have gotten off the floor if I'd wanted to. But yes, this year I am very excited that I will get to spend it with you guys. Yeah, we love bathroom floors. Love them. Lovely, lovely bathroom floors. Oh, way too jaded. Sorry, that was your comment. I thought that was Wael's comment. I was like, Wael, you don't have to wear it. But I think you could, way too jaded. I think you could pull it off. I think you could. Night! Good night. Yes, have a good sleep and we'll see you tomorrow. I'll be on a little bit earlier tomorrow. I'll be on from about 6 tomorrow evening, so I'll see you then. Maybe even earlier. Depends if my kids decide they want to go camp at their dad's house or not. I say camp, but he does have beds and, like, you know, he's not camp. He has a house. Not that it would matter if he didn't, because there are lots of people who don't, and they are doing the best they can for their families. But, yeah, they're not camping. They'll be going to their dad's house. It was just not the right choice of words. I sound like I got no idea what I'm talking about. I do. I'm talking nonsense. It's the best thing to do. So, this evening I'm going to stitch this on while, I don't know, should we put some music on? You can put some music on. Oh, you're okay. You're just sitting there. You can also talk to me. You don't have to just sit there silently pretending you don't exist. Like, people are aware there is another person here. It's actually quite weird that you're just sitting there not saying anything, not commenting. He's not making it any less weird, is he? Everyone needs a, I don't even want to call you, a best friend of the opposite sex. Someone just staring at you? Yeah. A best mate of the opposite sex who just is happy to just hang around and not really do anything other than be there sometimes, you know? Poor thing is shy. Poor thing is shy. Hey! What I'm hearing is that this stream will be a bit of a stitch up. Look, let's see what happens, eh? Let's see what happens. That's TV for some people. Yeah, I think it's pretty much it. It's just a guy best friend to act like a TV and sit in the corner. But the thing about having a guy best friend is I'm training him for his future partner, whoever that might be. And so he's making me cups of teas and bringing me Pepsis and, you know. Yeah, that's me for some people with my live streams. Isn't it really? I'm like the TV for some people. Put me on the background when they go and do their chores. I've had people tell me that. Not mentioning any names. Oh, thank you so much, Wael. You know how to charm a lady, that's for sure. You're very charming. Yes. Oh, I caught it. I don't know why I find it so hard just to finish this bloody ice cream. So I just finished eating it already. I haven't even eaten any dinner either, have I? Oh, I did. I had dinner. I did have some dinner. That's not true. I did manage that at least. So, we all know what's been going on in the news, and I don't really want to talk about that. So what else can we talk about? What else has been going on that has got nothing to do with any sort of real life? Actually, do you know what? That is mine. I need that. That's what I need. That's what needs to happen right now. Oh, I missed me ads. Oh, hydrate. Oh, that's an old hydrate warning. What? Oh, I can make another one. The paper's here, but it's on the floor out in the lounge room. Oh, yes, thank you. I'm interested to see the popsicle shape. I unfortunately don't know if I can. I've been eating it now for... Oh. I started earlier today. Is that your phone ringing? Hey. Oh, that's what I was doing. My thing's not in the thing. I need to go... Hello. Yes. Where do I put that? Ooh. I need it to be like right here. The petition I started last Friday has already over 2,000 signatures. Oh my goodness! Fantastic! Amazing! I didn't realize you started a petition. Did you send it to me? You probably did. You have probably mentioned it to me. I am like away with the fairies. What can I say? There's been a lot going on, to be fair. To be fair to my poor addled brain. How do we get rid of it? Can we delete them? I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to turn this off. Put this up here. Here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. And now we're going to have to turn this way a little bit. Just a little bit. There we go. Now, oh, you can't see the dress. How do I fix that? I've got to work how to keep pushing the action. Yep. Oh, it's Queensland Parliament, but doing well so far. Fantastic. Fantastic, Ed. That is great news. I'm trying to move this back into frame. I am actually trying to physically work on it too. Like, it's not just a prop. I'm not just like... Oh, my toe is actually not getting any worse. So maybe it is just dislocated. I saw the sun. No one's going to drag you up. I don't actually know what the words are. I just know what we made the words up to mean when we were younger. That the momentum is the hard thing, definitely. But like a local community, you got a local community paper. One thing that I found was when we got the local community paper invested, they really helped keep the issues forefront of people's minds. At least, as I said, like in a local seat capacity, probably at a state level, maybe not so much, but oh, Mum has that album. Oh. My mum had all those songs from like the Amway days. My parents were great at joining cults. They were in so many different cults. Honestly, this is why I say to people all the time, it's not about who would join a cult. It's about at what point in your life are you at risk. Because literally everyone is at risk of getting dragged in by a cult. Oh, were they? I didn't realise that. There you go. You learn something horrific about people that you didn't realise were horrific every day, don't you? Isn't that the terrible state of the world, honestly? Oh, let's turn this on. Oh, what is going on? that one guy. Just that one. Hey, good evening. Hello, hello. I am doing very, very well. How are you this evening? I'm just going to try and move this more into the frame because it's not at the moment and it needs to be. Oh, that. Woo. No, that's okay. Hello and welcome. Oh, shit. I am losing. Is there a niche for people who just want to watch someone create chaos around them at all times and continually smash shit up? Because I reckon that without even, like, that is really a niche that I could fall into very easily without having to change much. I would just have to maybe stop trying to pretend I'm not a massive fucking klutz. Huzzah! There we go. And 1 minute from ABBA. Yes. Yeah, they were sad, awful things that people do to each other, hey? The awful things people do to each other in this world. Huzzah! Yes! Yushma, you had your ice cream. Good! I'm glad. Have your ice cream, friends. Have your ice cream. Never. And also the link on the screen there. Also, no swearing. Why no swearing? Yeah, am I not allowed to swear? I think I am allowed to swear, aren't I? On Twitch I am, aren't I? Pretty sure. That's one of the reasons I like Twitch so much better. Because you're allowed to swear. I don't think I could, it might be a bit awkward if I can't swear. I'm 49-year-old and I spent the world less than when I was a kid. So much. It doesn't make much sense, does it? It really doesn't make much sense. Because we're, I try to explain it to people constantly as well. We're actively working against our best interests in so many ways. And even when you point it out to people, they want to argue because it's just, I really don't know. I really don't get it. It doesn't make much sense. Now, I am going, it's my gimmick here telling people to not swear. Oh, okay. That's your gimmick. Also hydrate. Fair. I appreciate you. Now, I am going to do some bonus content. I'm going to do some bonus content. Yes, we are up over there as well. We as kids and adults just shared Street because he said, yeah. Well, even I remember growing up doing that. It's just the world changes so fast in so many different ways, and people want certain aspects of the culture they want without recognizing why we've lost it. And like, let's be honest, we as a society, we are working far more hours now than we ever have before in all of human history. We are working far more hours now as a collective than we ever have throughout human history. So, of course, we do not have any fucking time for all of the community building and engagement activities that we used to. And it's sad. What's this, Mr. Doobie? Bonus content. I hide behind the sign for bonus content when it's bonus content time. Also hydrate. The good thing is that tea is very hydrating. Lovely and hydrating is the tea. I am. Ooh, yes, bonus. Those children do need to get out and get in bed. Do you mind letting them know? I have got, my neck is friggin', I swear, I slept wrong. Oh, I slept wrong and my neck is very sore. Very, very sore. I don't think it's out. It's just like the muscle, when the muscles just, it feels like it's strained or something, or it's just not, it's just not feeling great. Oh, okay then. Yes. More hours than ever. How do single people survive? They don't. There are no more single people. People do not live alone anymore. We don't have solitary people living by themselves. We have housemates. We have like share house situations. We have people living with their parents or moving back in with parents, multi-generations living together, which we always have done. But again, previously we didn't have to work anywhere near as much. And the reason we all lived together was because it was convenient. Now we're doing it because we don't have any other option and we're all working enough that everyone should be able to afford their own bloody houses. But, nope, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that because that makes too much sense. Any hoozles. Okay, so I don't want to have to wait anymore. How do you have your tea? I have it. Oh, has caffeine in tea and no caffeine for Drew in the evening. Yes, I don't have that problem. I also will have a Pepsi Max shortly. So caffeine in the evening, thanks to ADHD, is not a problem for me. It's one of the upsides of having unmedicated ADHD is that I can drink caffeine in the evening and it's not a problem. I love it. I really do. So, thank you for the follow, Way Too Jaded, over on the other place. Love having you. Got you. I did maths, and there is no way. Yeah, no. Yeah, there's no way. No way. Absolutely no way. I have my tea white with a drop of honey. I prefer honey in my tea when I have my tea. And in the evening times, I'll often have a chai as well. But yeah, I can have caffeine in the evening due to the ADHD, which, is a bonus. Now, I do have to fix my link on the Tickety Talk, but I actually don't think that I can. So we might have to... I be here now. Yes, you be here now. Oh, you weren't finding me on Twitch. Sorry, I missed the YouTube comment. I didn't see that one come through. I'm so sorry. Thank you for taking the effort to find me. Goodness me. As I said, I am also streaming on YouTube because it is more convenient for some people to watch on YouTube. Less with the TikTok editing, yes. Yes. It's much trickier, I find, that particular app to navigate. The expectations are just very unknowable even. And they change constantly. So the goalposts are constantly changing. It does remind me a little bit of being in the cult in that way, that you can never win, really, You can never win with them. I can't live stream on my main account at the moment. I don't make any money when streaming on my backup account. On my main account, it's pittance, but it's something at least. Not that I do it because of that, obviously, because 23 cents isn't worth, there is no point doing it for that. But, we're trying to build a community, and I feel like it's worth it for that, but they keep punishing me every time I go on there, and it's just frustrating because I'm making them money. I'm not even making me money. I'm doing the capitalist thing for them. I'm not benefiting from it, and they keep punishing me for just trying to express myself on my page that I'm responsible for, that I have to curate. I think TikTok's under a lot of pressure. They are. Absolutely they are. I understand that, and that they are trying to operate a business. But this is one of the reasons that I think a lot of social media platforms were freaking out when governments were trying to have them labelled as publishers. Because when you are labelled as a publisher, you are then responsible for everything that your publication prints, which means every post that was made on Twitter would become Elon Musk's responsibility. And they don't want that, because obviously not. It would be impossible to treat social media companies as publishers. What's that? Ooh, very loose. It's getting very, very loose, isn't it? So, anyway, that's... I just had to follow you when I thought I already was. Oh! Thank you, Damien. I didn't realise. Got you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. America's very upset with them. Yeah. That's because they want NPC live streams. They do. They absolutely do want NPC live streams. And this is the thing that I don't get, because they are not responsible for what we publish. Right? They are not responsible for what we publish. Yes, they have a responsibility to make sure that there aren't crime is being committed on their platform. So things like hate speech, they should definitely be on the lookout for. Yet strangely, they're not. Like, strangely, that it doesn't seem to be the thing that they really put any time into worrying about. They spend a lot more time into protecting capitalism. So, for example, if I try and send people off the site to other places in order to do anything, they will crack down on that in a second because it affects their bottom line. So that's the thing with these companies. We always think that they're doing this because they protect the community. No, they're only ever protecting their bottom line. And the reason they will sometimes crack down on things like harassment and bullying is because, if we don't, we're at risk of being legislated to have to crack down on that stuff. And if we're legislated to do it, we're going to have to be a lot stricter. So if we show them we're trying to do it of our own volition, they won't legislate us to do it. And then in a few years, once everyone's forgotten, we can cut back on all those mods we hired to do the moderating, and we can go back to being a hellscape, and everyone will just go, wow, the internet's gotten more shit lately. Like, it's just... I hate that it's all so obvious why everything's becoming so shit, and the answer is capitalism, and people keep arguing with you while their world becomes more shit around them. Yeah. Depends who you're hating on. Absolutely, it depends who you're hating on. Absolutely depends who you're hating on. But I will say that it very, very much, it's more about protecting their bottom line. It is more about protecting their bottom line, which is why, again, they will protect certain people from certain forms of hate. Because certain people have more money than others, and we protect those with money because we protect the money. Self-regulation has never had any issues. Yeah, no. Self-regulation, companies self-regulate. And this is why when I say to people that the criminal justice system, like legislative punishments for crimes and things, is such just it's a minor part of the criminal justice system. It's just such a minor part of the way that we deal with conflict in society in general. Most of the legislation and things that we have allows for self-regulation by these corporations because they have money, and it's about protecting the people with the money. So we make legislation saying that they have to make sure they're not endangering the environment so that the people vote us in, but we allow them to self-regulate because we want to protect their profit, because that's the most important thing. So, yeah, which is one of the reasons why the Environmental Protection Agency basically may as well not even exist, because they've been gutted. The government gives them absolutely no authority to do anything. The amount of staff that they have to carry out inspections has been slashed remarkably. We have towns up north in Western Australia that have been evacuated because of the difficulty people have breathing. They can't breathe in their hometowns anymore. And we've got people literally arguing with us that, like, mining is cool and normal and fine, and it's actually not an issue, and, like, this carbon capture is going to be great, it's not going to be an issue, when they literally, like, where the carbon capture station is up in WA, they've had to evacuate the town. Like, people don't have water. Yeah, there are people out here without water. Yeah. So where the carbon capture station is in WA, they had to evacuate the town because people can't breathe the air. And the EPA has done nothing about it because they are not able to. Yeah, they have environmental testing equipment and they fudge the data. Yep. And see, this is the thing too. They fudge the data. We know they fudge the data because they're saying that the air's fine while, like, medical staff are evacuating patients from the hospitals. We do have an environmental protection. We have an environment. Well, no, it's not environmental protection. It is. It is called. It is the. It's environmental. They lose money if they don't have consistent results. Are you kidding me? They have to have consistent results. Why why? Because every single government contract I have been involved in has these fucking KPIs that basically ensure that the only thing you can do to complete the contract is, like, not do your job. The KPIs are written in such a way that in order to meet the KPIs, you're not actually trying to do the outcome of the program is designed to do X, but the KPIs are written so that you end up doing Y. And they're just like, yeah, but you have to, you have meetings where they're yelling at you about not meeting the KPIs, where your KPIs are literally resulting in people losing their homes, and your job is to try and prevent homelessness. Do you know what I mean? The product to do the testing has to pass, otherwise they lose their contracts. Each state has something. Yeah. Yep. So the contract, when I was working for the support contract for the housing. So there was an incident that happened here in Western Australia a few years ago where a gentleman was trapped inside his house and the house burnt down. And the state government was held responsible because they hadn't carried out an inspection at the property for years. And this gentleman was a hoarder, and so he had become trapped inside his home. Now, because he hadn't done... Ooh, an ad. Excellent. Time for bonus content time. Excellent. Yeah, it's bloody sad that evacuating. Absolutely. Your TikToks are good as most people don't feel they are being heard. That is very, very true. That is very, very true. Damien, you probably are following my main account. This is my backup account because my main account has been blocked. Hey, Kellyanne. Good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Tim's here. We got the whole gangs coming in. Fuck, ad. I'm supposed to be doing my bonus content time. Don't distract me, guys. Don't distract me. I've got to stay on target. Lol, it's for gas guzzlers. Of course it is. Of course it's for gas guzzlers. Oh, my God. Woo! Hello. And we also have places in this state where people can't use the water in their homes. There's a town, Bullsbrook, in Western Australia. Look it up. Bullsbrook. Bullsbrook. People have bought homes there and they can't use the water because of the testing and things that were done in the area. They were using this fire retardant spray that is highly poisonous. Can't remember the name of it. There's a massive court case going on at the moment. But the army are shipping water to people in Bullsbrook in Western Australia, and people just don't know. People are just unaware. People turn around and go, we should be so fucking lucky to live here. Is that what it's called? It's the PFAS? My fingers are so crossed I won't take away my vape. Yeah. She's doing a carbon capture. I was! KPI for smoking. I was doing carbon capture. You've not seen it on the news? No, this has been going on for over a decade. Yes, the documentary on Star about the chemical. This has been going on for over a decade. But this is old news, and just nobody knows about it. Nobody knows about it. It's just houses are just on the market in Bullsbrook. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is when I say to people, when I talk to people about how involved I am in policy and politics and how involved I am in all of this shit, because people will turn around and say to me, oh, shut up, there's no way you know as much as these politicians. Then I start talking to them about the stuff that I know about, the stuff that I'm involved with, and they're like, what are you fucking talking about? I'm like, yeah, that's right, we live in a hellscape. This country is fucking shit. That's why I'm liking the TikTok. Yeah. Because the carbon capture, I'm going to get myself booted off so badly. So badly. My backup account's going to get booted off. Goodness me. That's right. We're still doing tomorrow night. I didn't get a response about tomorrow morning, so I don't think I'm gonna do tomorrow morning unless anyone changes my mind. But we will still be on live tomorrow night for the Void After Dark again. Don't stress. That is still going to be happening. And it will be on the backup account. No swearing on TikTok, eh? Yeah. Unfortunately not. Which is why usually once I've got a little red warning sign up the top, I will log off TikTok because I cannot help that. I cannot help with the swearing. It's impossible. It's impossible. And I refuse to censor myself. I can't do it. I can't censor myself anymore. It's part of my unmasking. I used to censor myself a whole fucking lot, and I can't do it anymore. Which political party is the best or least shit to vote for? So, depending on what state you're in, depends on what options you'll have in Australia. That's the most difficult thing about it, is that depends on what state you are as to what options you'll have. There are a lot of really progressive parties around Australia. A lot of them will have the word progressive in their title. For example, the Australian Progressives are one of our more progressive parties, and they are running on a Housing First campaign at the next federal election, well, the next state election, in Queensland, which I'm very, very, very excited about. So I'll be talking more about that later. Is carbon capture even real? No. Short answer, no. Not even a little bit. My understanding was it's just like a vague hope. They have a carbon capture station up north that uses more power, uses more energy than it captures by like 10 times. It's ridiculous. It's insane. Like absolutely insane. Other options that you have as well, like things like the Fusion Party in Victoria. So Australian Progressives is like in Queensland. You've got the Fusion Party in Victoria. How many people have made better investments than me? That's not fair. That's your argument. No, that's not my argument. My argument is that for most of human history, what we thought of as being rents was in fact the income from the property. So it was a percentage of the income that you would make from living on the land. You weren't expected just to pay for the right to live somewhere. And that has been a relatively sort of new invention. Even in the days of like the founding fathers of the US, it was found a pretty scummy way to make a living, and most people understood that it was an exploitative practice and that you shouldn't do it. Even when people were like doling out parcels and other people coming and living on the land as tenants, they didn't necessarily expect a dollar amount of rent in exchange. It was more you were expected to contribute to the community you were a part of. We had more of an idea about community, even as lards or the land owners, the landlords. You wouldn't charge people to live on your land. That was considered foul. That was considered disgusting, disgraceful behaviour. It was the idea was everyone had to contribute to the community, and like getting people to pay 15% income tax on the income they made from living on the land was a way to do that. Charging rent to live somewhere has always throughout our history been considered despicable until the early 80s, until Margaret Thatcher and the like decided they wanted to commodify housing in order to prop up the economies that were failing due to the failed austerity politics that don't work. We know they don't work. So housing was used as pretty much the pole that was going to prop up the economy for the failing austerity politics measures, which we continue to use down to this day. And so that is one of the reasons why we continue to commodify housing, is because our entire Australian economy is backed by our housing mortgages, which are considered safe because they're owned by Australians who live in those properties. Unfortunately, they are becoming less and less secure as we continue to commodify housing on a large scale, and particularly because now we're seeing our government sell off a lot of those rights to international companies, particularly even in our our social housing programs. A lot of those housing programs are being sold off to American companies because we are America's little bitch. And so our entire economy is going to crumble as a result of this really bad, awful decision making. Once again, another form of austerity politics, which is what fucked us up in the 80s. But rather than listening to me, because I'm just some idiot on TikTok, why would you fucking bother? You're going to instead listen to the same guys who drove us into the same hole again and again and again and again, because 2008 was so long ago, everyone seems to have forgotten it already. You're not listening, obviously. You're not listening. The plan to commodify it was done as a way to prop up the failing government's failed austerity politics measured policies. The economy was crumbling and failing, and propping up the commodification of housing through landlordism was a way to try and patch that over. So it's a patch job on a crumbling infrastructure that is going to collapse. So we should stop doing it because it's suicide. But go off about how landlords deserve to make profit because you've got no idea how detrimental that's going to be to all of our lives, including the landlords. We have the lowest home ownership in the Western world. I absolutely would not doubt that for a second. Yeah, landlord won't put many. Even this place, like the amount of work that I've had to put in when I moved into this place immediately because of the stuff that just hadn't been done. Things like, you know, and I could see there were a lot of benefits. Here we go. I could see there were a lot of things about the house. Why is it making me do this? There we go. Thank you. So there were things about the house that I really, really loved that were like extras that you don't usually see in a property either. Oh, another screen. I'm listening. Sorry. Interest used to be illegal. Yeah, charging interest was considered usury because we understood it was usury because that's what it is. It's usury. It's a disgusting practice. And we understood that once upon a time. We used to think things through. Now we don't. Now we just swallow whatever bullshit McDonald's feeds us and we call it food. Like, okay. Put that on a sticker. I should screenshot each time it lags a little. Put that on a sticker. Put what on a sticker? If it could go on a sticker, it can go on a shirt, Drew, and it needs to go in the recommended, what do you call it? Shirts in the Discord. Another screen. I have to figure out, I got to pop out the chat again. I keep forgetting to pop out the chat. Pop out the chat so I can see it. Nice and big. There we go. And that way I won't keep missing it because I do keep missing it. It's not good. I'm naughty. Naughty me. Yeah. Mum says she walks past old women who are homeless. Yep. Women over the age of 55 are the largest growing homeless population in Australia at the moment. And generally it's as a result of divorce. Women over 55 who have literally worked in the home for most of their lives, or a lot of them, you know, they were last generation too, are the fastest growing population of homeless people, unfortunately, because they don't have the superannuation to support them in retirement. They don't have, you know, savings. Yeah, I like stickers, all the anti-lawnmower stuff, all the rent scum stuff. Yes, all the stickers all over the place. I'm seeing a lot of those. We need to keep it up. We really need to keep it up because we cannot forget that what these people are doing is exploitation, right? Why do we have such an issue with sex work? Why is that the boundary? Because we recognize the exploitative nature of that. Like, how do you not understand how? And honestly, when you read someone like Octavia Butler's The Parable of the Sower, when she talks about, you know, read Sonora Babs, whose names are unknown. Sorry, Kim. I know I'm adding to the book list. I'm so sorry. Kim's on here. Kim's on here, is he? Damn it. It makes me so sad. What you're saying is what Mum said. Yeah. You look so familiar. Where do we know each other from? I'm not sure. You can guess. Yes, and we can say, and you know, I mean, if we do know each other from somewhere, the word might be blocked because I block all those words. Oops, sorry. Yeah, it leaves older women vulnerable to staying in volatile and bad relationships too. Yeah, it leaves a lot of women because a lot of women have that same problem. Because when we go on maternity leave, when we have babies, we're not earning superannuation during that time, which the government has changed, thank goodness. But I didn't earn superannuation during that time. New South Wales created a TikTok on women's homelessness, and the member had last name as me, so we'll find it this year. Oh, awesome. But if you go and read these books that I'm talking about, which talk about real life, real world examples of times when the exploitation has been taken to the extreme, and every single time it has been, we see it happening. It is happening right now. It is becoming unbearable. Like at the beginning of whose name, Sonora Babs, whose names are unknown, at the beginning of that novel, the family are forced off of their land because they can no longer afford to stay there. That's how the story starts. And as you go through, it gets to the point where the kids are starving and mum's making them pepper soup. She's boiling water and putting peppercorns into it and feeding them that when they get home from school. Because they have no food. They've literally got nothing. They're living intense. And it's the thing is you watch that progression and you watch how bad it got, and you look at what's happening now for us and what's happening around us. You can see how it happens. You can see the progress, and we are right there. We're right on that cusp. And again, you look at and people who want to come in and defend those who exploit, when they want to say, oh, it's on you, you've just got to work harder, you've just got to, like, I'm sorry, Abigail Boyd tagged you on TikTok. Awesome, thank you. I'll go have a look. On my main account or backup? But honestly, and it's Sonora Bab, whose names are unknown. She worked at the union office, both. Oh, fantastic, thank you. But Sonora Bab worked at the union office during that period of time, during the Dust Bowl crisis. If anyone's aware of American history, during the Dust Bowl crisis, the Grapes of Wrath is based on that period of time, as is Sonora Babs, whose names are unknown. And Sonora Babs worked at one of the union offices during the uprising, the Pickers uprising that happened after the Dust Bowl crisis, or during the Dust Bowl crisis, I should say, because it was a very prolonged period of history. So it's a very, everything she talks about in there happened. They were first-hand experiences of the people who she was dealing with as a part of the union movement. And she combined them in one as this family to tell the story in a fictional manner, but every single thing that happened was a real thing that happened to one of the families that she was dealing with as one of the, and she said, and a lot of them just had the same story. It was the same story over and over and over and over, of just the constant, like, because they have to leave the house, and, dad's working, and then dad's working 2 jobs, and then mum has to start working, and then they have to move in with another family who's got a single mum who is also working, and so they've got 4 kids and 3 adults living in a 1-bedroom house, and all the adults are working all day, picking fruit to try and make ends meet. And they can't afford rent. And I'm laughing because you read it and right now, it's just like, oh God. Time to move into a matriarchy, yes. And I am, honest to God, I'm not even fucking kidding. Like, if you are at all interested in joining the commune, please jump onto the Discord, because that is where we are going. 5-year timeline, guys. 5-year timeline. Start working on it. Start building your tiny homes. There is going to be a plot of land over here where you can all come. We're going to park up and we're going commune. We're going commune living. So you got to, like, sign up to the Discord, though, because obviously there's limited places. Like, I can't have 1,000 people show up to my 10-acre block with tiny homes. There will not be enough space. It's not sustainable. However, there will be people coming and going, because people aren't going to want to stay year-round. People are going to want to travel, especially because they're not going to have any expenses. You're going to be able to just save up, work for a few months of the year, save up, go traveling. So people aren't going to want to stay all the time. So, we can have, like, a rotating roster at the commune, maybe. I can't function in a society where it's a daily choice of who do I exploit for my gain today. Yeah. No, absolutely not. It's disgusting. It's disgraceful. And it literally, that's the thing that people don't get as well, even about why I refuse to do sponsored posts. Because the only sort of companies that I would be willing, like, even my speaking engagements, like, there are a lot of times where I will do a speaking engagement for no pay, or I'll ask for them to donate to whatever cause I'm trying to raise money for at the time, because a lot of the speaking engagement things I do, and a lot of the brands who I would want to work with if I was going to do that, are small businesses who don't have the funds for that, and you're exploiting their need. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, capitalism just means we're always exploiting each other constantly. It's awful. It's just awful to be constantly living that way, and I just don't want to. It's just such a mental toll. It takes such a mental toll. What Discord as well, not that I would do the commune, It's a link. If you go to the Ko-fi, I know this is going to sound... There's a Minotaur guarding the entrance. We joke about the Minotaur guarding the entrance to the labyrinth to get into the Discord because it's a bit of a hike. It's a bit of a hike. Okay. So in the link, in the Ko-fi, you'll find the Ko-fi link. Okay. If you go to the Ko-fi link, there is a thing at the top that says membership tiers. If you go there, there's a membership tier called Community Builders. It's like $1. You sign up for that. It gives you a link to the Ko-fi. You join the Ko-fi. You cancel the membership. You don't have to keep the membership. But it's to stop the trolls from getting in and the others, the ones we don't want getting in. So we make it a maze with a gold coin donation at the entry, and it stops the trolls. But you have to remember to cancel your membership. You have to remember to cancel your membership. But yes, commune living for all those who are interested. That's the plan with my mum's property too. Shire restrictions are hard to navigate though, yeah. And that's what I'm working on at the moment, Kellyanne. We were talking about this the other day, weren't we? At the moment, I am working on the area where I want to purchase the land. I am working on getting the council restrictions changed beforehand because, as I said, 5-year plan. I know you don't mean this at all, but again, whenever anyone comes at me and says anything in my comments about, oh my God, you have no idea how this shit works, I'm like, dude, I've motherfucking got a 5-year plan. I got a 5-year plan, and I'm in arguments with my local council every week about it already. About what I want to do with the property that I'm going to buy in 5 years. I know how this shit works, which is why I keep telling you all nuclear's not going to happen. Stop trying to make it happen. You make my brain seize up. We're about a decade away from getting the legislation approved for nuclear power. Like, we had to undo legislation not allowing it before we could even start legislating it. So to think that it's going to happen in the next 10 years is just... It's just more, let's invest in coal and gas for a little while longer propaganda. Anyone who can't see that it is just push oil and gas a little while longer propaganda is not paying attention, and I'm sorry, but your opinion's not worth listening to. Like, I can't. The fact that Peter Dutton gets on the 7:30 report and with a straight face tries to convince everybody that nuclear is an actual strategy. Like, sorry. Every time I see him on there arguing, he embarrasses me. I am so embarrassed. Like, remember the other week when he was on there? I must be a troll because I don't remember any of that. Or do I still donate? No, you joined before we had to worry about the trolls. You joined before we had to worry about the trolls. We had to put the stopgaps in because the trolls became a problem. The trolls became a problem after I, remember when, which video was it that the trolls really started coming in thick and fast? It was one of the ones that I did on Indigenous issues, obviously. It was one of those ones. And we started getting trolled hard. Coal and gas a little bit longer for the last 20 years, yeah. And for the next 20, apparently. At this point, I'm waiting for aliens to visit and show us our unlimited alternative power sources. What I would really like to have happen, what I would like to have happen is I would like for people to just accept that the power is going to go out sometimes. And that's just something that we have to live with. And that's a normal thing. That's just a normal thing. Sometimes you run out of fuel. It sucks. It does. But it's a fact of life. And the fact that we expect to be so insulated... And the problem isn't us, okay? The problem is, once again, capitalism, because we are such little balls of stress. We are always on the edge. We are always just like little ducks paddling away, barely staying above water, barely staying afloat. And so the minute there is anything that brushes against us the wrong way, or any minute there is any tension or any friction, it is world ending. We are barely staying afloat. The tiniest bit of friction is enough to tip us completely over. So we can't handle it. We can't have it. So we need power to be consistent and available, and we need the internet to work, and we can't handle it when the mouse is dead because we haven't charged it, because we need everything to be smooth and stable because we are so stressed all of the fucking time. And capitalism designs it that way because we'll pay through the nose for convenience and for ease when we're that stressed constantly. And they make us more and more and more stressed, so we have less and less and less ability to fight back and less bargaining power, because we are adaptable. So we do adapt to these highly stressful situations, quite easily. But unlike the frog, everyone says the frog will sit in the pot of water as it slowly boils and heats up. No, the frog goes, wow, this water's getting a bit uncomfortable, I should jump out. We're the only dickheads who'll sit in that water until it boils over and we are cooked and ready for tea. Like, salt me and fry me and, like, flip me in butter, because we are the only dickheads who do that. The only dickheads in the animal kingdom who do that. But we do it because if I keep doing this, then I'm going to keep having my conveniences. But, like, if we got rid of the stress, we wouldn't need the conveniences. Yep, turn the frogs gay, exactly. We know we are past the point where climate change can be stopped from being catastrophic, so I have no answers. The thing is, climate change is going to be catastrophic, absolutely, but it's going to be catastrophic in the way that our daily life, the way we know it, is over. We are going to have to get used to the fact that we are not going to be able to have power simply because of the heat or because of the cold. Like, it's just going to be impossible to keep services running. We are going to have to get used to our lives being a lot less convenient because of the issues that we have created. That is a fact of life. We are going to have to get used to that. But I really think we need to somehow figure out a way to disengage. And this is why I keep saying little acts of rebellion. Little acts of rebellion. Everything we can do to try and disentangle ourselves from capitalism is going to help. Because the more we're able to extricate ourselves from the system, the less these issues are going to have an impact on us. The more we are going to be able to, as a community, come together to provide heat for each other, to provide food for each other, to provide comfort for each other, to provide entertainment for each other. But we need that community, and that's the thing that capitalism should first and foremost. We can't live in communes. We all need to have our own houses with our own microwaves and our own kettles and our own ovens and our own beds. Like, I mean, of course you need your own beds. I don't know why I said that, but like literally, I went to a university with fucking 5,000 other students, and they had 4 microwaves on campus. And yeah, there was a line at lunchtime, but I never ate at lunchtime, so it was never a problem. Like, most people will just adapt to the circumstances they find themselves in when they are allowed the flexibility to adapt. I'm more worried about the mass starvation, I guess. Yeah, way too jaded. I am quite worried about the mass starvation. I will say, though, unfortunately, I'm very unfortunate because I live in one of those places that is going to probably not experience the effects negatively as quickly. I'm one of those places that's quite protected. So unfortunately, we're going to continue having access to food and other necessary resources for far longer, which means we're just going to be able to sit here and watch the world burn. Yeah, capitalism causes starvation regularly. And we see, like, over and over and over again. And again, people who say facts don't care about your feelings, like, I got to tell you, facts don't care about your feelings. Over and over and over and over again, in the historical record, in the anthropological record, societies that were not capitalist had better caloric intake and had less work hours. Every single one of them. Pre-capitalist societies, pre-industrial societies, over and over and over again. Communist societies, even like, right after the communist revolution in Russia that didn't last very long, right after the communist revolution in Germany that didn't last very long, people's caloric intake increased to a rate that it had to unforeseen levels in those places. So time and time again, we are proved that capitalism starves us, not just because of like the food, but also the food that's available to us. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but carrots have more sugar in them now than they used to. Like, you can get your daily sugar intake from eating carrots. You know what I mean? Like malnutrition, just, even if you're trying to be healthy, how am I going to stay healthy when my carrots have got too much sugar in them? And I'm a diabetic because everything has too much sugar in them now. But have you noticed that carrots taste a whole lot sweeter? There have been scientific studies that have been done. The sugar content in carrots has increased to statistically significant levels. Like, it's ridiculous. And this is causing malnutrition. Shotgun, is that to block someone? It's reversed. Yeah, I try to do it, the both thing. My sensory sensitive thinks anyways. Hi AJ, hello. I learned to live simple and within our means and resources. Yeah, exactly. Survival of the fittest means who fits the changing environment, nothing to do with strength. Exactly, absolutely. And I think it's really important that we emphasize again and again and again that it is not corporations that have ever seen us through times of disaster. It is not companies or even governments really that have gotten us through difficult times. It is community. The thing we need more than ever is community. We need to stop with this bullshit of like company worship. And last year was the first year we had as many female CEOs as we did CEOs. Fuck CEOs. Kill all the CEOs. Like, don't. Oh, I've got a killer sore throat is what I was saying. Goodness me. I might have to go behind this sign and take care of that sore throat. Is that mine? I didn't say that awful thing about doing awful things. What are you talking about? I dealt with load shedding in Bangladesh. It's fine. Hey, what's bappin'? The thing is the wet bulb temperature is the really dangerous thing. We get a wet bulb temperature up in the 30s and we start seeing some very dangerous situations for everyone. That's the really fucking dangerous thing, and we're going to start seeing that. So the very big problem is that, once again, this is going to negatively affect the brown people first, which means that the companies are less likely to do anything about it because the white people are less bothered about that, and they're the ones who have all of the money as a result of all of the years of systemic racism. So, yeah, we're going to see mass casualties and we're already seeing it. The Isle of Tuva has already experienced mass displacement. They have already been declared. We've already had an entire nation of people to be declared climate refugees, and people are still arguing that climate change isn't real. There is a whole ass island underwater that used to not be underwater, and we've had a whole ass group of people declared climate refugees because of the rising sea levels. Tell me again how it's not real. Rationing and planning works for many. Hoarding and chaos works for the few. Exactly. And we don't have to do central planning. Like, people think planning means central planning. No, we can do community planning. How many resources do our community need? Guess who's got all that information? All of your local greengrocers, all of your local fucking... Go and talk to them. They'll be able to tell you what you need to be able to support your local community, what kind of... And yeah, it might be a fucking lot. You don't have to take the whole load on for yourself. Do you know what? If 1 in every 6 households, I think it is, or 1 in every 4 households had chickens in their backyard, the entire egg industry would collapse. That would be the end of the egg industry. Because we don't need the egg industry, we just need 1 in every 4 people to be willing to have a couple of chickens in their backyard. That's all it would take, and the entire egg industry would crumble. Because we are, and this is why capitalism, the first thing it does is strip us of community, because community is the thing that makes us powerful. Like, just watch fucking Disney Pixar's Ants. If you are not clever enough to have managed to learn this already from the many, many different examples that we've been given throughout history, including from your own Bible, where God says a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken, talking about how 1 cord is snapped easily on its own, 2 not that, easier, but not as easy, but, 3 are stronger together, like we are stronger together. Even your fucking Bible fucking says that, right-wingers who do believe in that sort of shit. But they'll still turn around and tell us that, nah, it's survival of the fittest, like, everyone on your own. No. The fittest communities were the one that survived. No man survives on their own. It's actually, like, impossible. Yeah, because all want rats and snakes in... What? You make no sense. You make no sense. You need to make sense if you're going to comment. Early Christian community was very community sharing resources. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, Christianity was a big proliferator of individualism. Like everybody having an individual relationship with God and standing on their own merit before God was a Christian idea and spread the idea of individualism. So Christianity is actually one of the reasons that capitalism is able to exist, unfortunately. Because before that, we didn't have an idea, there wasn't really an idea of individual salvation. We didn't have the idea of individual salvation before Christianity. The idea of inventing the individual, there is actually a book you can read about inventing the individual that talks about how, like the role that Christianity and the role that the Roman Emperor Nero played in spreading the idea of individualism because he was trying to stamp out the Christians. Very interesting. What? Yeah, they used to say that. We were kind once. Yeah, that's famously that's the tagline of the Christian community. We used to be kind and do good things. But now we all about getting that bag. Hey, good job, Tim. Thank you. The Chudich keeps getting our chickens. What? Also, I just realised because I'm on my backup account, I'm not following you on this account, Callie Ann. So there we go, fixed that. But yeah, we don't need to do rationing and planning on a national scale. So this is the problem as well that you have in places like, when people insist on control. That's the big problem when you have communism. Like, whenever I start spreading out this, everyone's like, oh yeah, you're trying to start a cult. I accidentally started a cult. I wasn't trying to. It happened by accident. It's not my fault. What do you want me to do about it? It's happened. It's here. It's not going anywhere. Welcome to the void. I didn't mean to, okay? I made myself fucking laugh. Okay. I missed the ad, but I'm coming back here to do it anyway. Don't mind me. Came by it innocently. Exactly, Kellyanne. I came by it innocently. I didn't mean to start a cult. And I will say, in case anyone hasn't noticed, our Lord and Saviour is very much a mythical creature these days as well. So it fits the theme of every other cult that exists. I'm just saying it's getting more culty by the day. We are becoming more culty by the day as a cult, as an organisation, The Void. And I keep asking for your money. Every time I see you, I'm asking you to donate money. Tell me if that's not culty. I'm using substances, like, come on. Trying to start a commune. I wonder if we could apply for not-for-profit status under the idea that we're a religion. Yeah, that's gone cold now. Thanks. I reckon we could. I reckon we could apply for religious status. 5-year plan, guys. 5 year. I'm going to have the land purchased in 5 years. Get your tiny houses built. Get working on them. Okay, hang on. Oh, this is packed. Do you reckon I can do it in one? It's not like a packed one?
No, it's not pushed out.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you're lying. I think you're lying.
I can't actually remember.
When I say early, I mean mentioned in the Bible early. Oh, yes. Yeah, but again, that's more early Judaism rather than Christianity. Like, that's more... and again, yeah, because Christianity was based on Paul. Christianity was based on Paul. So you're talking about before they became Christians. You're talking about before they became Christians, because they became Christians with Paul, and he started with all the fucking judgment shit. And like, just keep an eye out for yourself. Like, keep an eye on your own fucking feet. And the gossip, he started all of the gossip, and keep an eye on each other, and Big Brother is watching. Yeah, I get what you mean. Before Paul corrupted it, the teaching was, because it was based on Eastern religious teaching. It was based on Eastern religious philosophy. early Christianity, before Paul got his hands on it. Before the white man got his hands on it, the brown man had been trying to teach other people, the other brown man's lessons about peace and love and harmony. And then the white man got his hands on it and went, oh, I just got to spice this up a little bit. Oh, sorry, got to de-spice this a little bit. Pour some mayonnaise on this. It was mentioned by Paul, but before he started emailing everyone. Can we put that on a fucking shirt? That absolutely needs to go on a shirt. Because absolutely. Paul mentioned it briefly before he started the chain email about how actually it was more all about what he was on, and like he was having prophetic visions. So even though Jesus was like the Son of God, he was having like prophetic visions about stuff that for some reason in the Son of God's whole 33 years here, he didn't have time to mention. He spent a lot of time talking about loving your neighbours, but I just thought I would mention some addendums to that he didn't quite capture. In all that time he was down here, I didn't think prevalent to mention. But God's delivered me a special dream in the form of chickens and cows and pigs that I'm going to interpret for you. Not clear at all. Could have come directly from the mouth of God's only begotten Son. Instead, it's coming through my dream interpretation to you motherfuckers. Oh, am I? Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that. I'm not used to men finding me funny. I've heard many other statements. Funny not being one of them. Would you say I was funny?
Hilarious.
You couldn't have said that with any straighter face if you'd tried. Like, honestly, I think if I had asked you to pretend I was killing you as you'd said that. I keep saying them naughty words. I'm going to get blocked off TikTok. I'm going to get banned. Gosh, it's going to happen, guys. Quick, follow me everywhere else because I'm going to get blocked off this app. And I forgot to put the links, so it doesn't matter because I forgot to put the links. How long have we been live for so far? Because the stomach cramps are coming in hard. So I will say one thing about... I had this friend when I was younger. They were older. They were very patient with me because I was in a cult. And they were trying to explain to me how Jesus' teaching seemed to be a lot more about rebelling against authority. Because the Pharisees and Sadducees of the day, the authority figures of the day, had corrupted Judaism to the point that it had become very restrictive on people's daily lives, and that had never been what it was designed to be at all. And so he was trying to undo a lot of that by introducing the Eastern philosophies that had survived a lot longer. Like they had continued to be carried on. The tradition had been carried on for a lot longer. And so he hoped by introducing some of those ideas, like he had a lot of these, Eastern ideas. He hoped by sharing those, they would carry on that tradition a little bit. How you doing on the shunning and thought control? Oh. Shit. Well, thought control, like we're blocking people. We're blocking people who are asshats, and we're making sure everyone agrees with us before they're allowed in. But they have to agree with us that housing is a human right and that American imperialism is killing us all and down with capitalism. They're the core beliefs of the cult. And as long as you agree with us, you get to stay, and if you don't, you get blocked. How's that? Does that work for shunning? Yep, good stuff. Awesome. We've got the parameters for shunning. Everyone knows what the shunning parameters are. Good job. Yes, thank you, Kellyanne, for helping out. I keep forgetting. I was supposed to answer questions over here too. Yes. It does feel like that, doesn't it? Killing me softly with this song. I am going to record a YouTube video of an arrangement I'm working on of champagne problems. But it's not called champagne problems. It's called campaign problems. And I know that sounds like a joke, but it's not. It's literally about propaganda and about how disappointing it is that, like, how they're all just depressed that they can't get away with unaliving people indiscriminately, campaign problems. And I don't know if it's going to hit the way I'm expecting it to, like with that little touch of twinge of irony, because obviously it's a very sad song, and it's told from the point of the view of somebody who is lamenting the fact that their TikTok was banned because they were sharing war crimes. What is wrong with my brain? What is wrong with my fucking brain? Fucking hell. I got a fucked head. No one should listen to me. We live in such a joke of reality. We do live in such a joke of reality. I couldn't think about how, like, I've been trying to think about how I've been trying to do skits. When I first got on this app, I did a lot of fucking skits and shit, and I loved it. Like, and I've been doing a few more of those over on, like, story times and skits and stuff over on this channel, on my backup account. And I really enjoy it. And I've been trying to figure out a way to incorporate the stuff I do. I'm just going to have to duck outside for a second because I thought I heard something, so I'll be right back. Hang on, guys. It's the best part. Hang on, I'll be right back. Whoops. There's a cat that's been hanging around the neighborhood that just keeps attacking my cats. So I'm just like, quick, everyone, grab the cookies. I am more than happy to make cookies for everyone. Everyone can have cookies. Cookies any day, anytime. No, poop. Sorry, that was a stim. That was a... It's hard to believe it's even real. Kind of looking forward to completely losing my mind. Yeah, it's the best part. Absolutely losing our minds. I do think, though, this is what we got to do, guys. Commune, then lose minds. We lose minds to get collectively together as a group. That's the safest way to do it. Cookies, yeah. We're going to have cookies every day on the commune. In the cult commune, guys. This is how I know it's going to be a successful cult. We got bribes. I know how to cult with the success. I was raised in cults, baby. I know how to cult with the best of them. Learn to feed the masters. Culty masters. They're such good cultists. People don't even know they're a cult. It's amazing. It's incredible. I'm very skilled. What were we talking about before I had to go and scare off the cat? And mushroom tea, of course. Can I just ask, how are we supposed to survive otherwise, really, in the current reality being what it is? And again, this is not at all about escaping the world, even though I know that does sound, like, really good. But we are going to be doing good works from our commune, just the way that the Lord and Saviour intended. We will be going out into the community and we'll be doing good works and helping others and trying to make the world a better place, because what is the point otherwise? What is the point otherwise? And, hi from the US, in Connecticut. Hello, welcome. Skits, you were talking about skits. Yeah, that's right. So I was trying to figure out how to talk about this as a skit and how to be like, you know, oh, dude, let's dress up as aid workers. Yeah, why has nobody thought about this before? And then like literally flashing back to, you know, whatever, fucking 1948. But what if they fucking dress up as aid workers? Fuck. That would be seriously fuck. I can't imagine anyone. We don't have to make a law about that. Surely no one's that tapped. Oh, I don't know. I'm shouting because I'm shocked I remembered. I'm shocked anyone remembered, but I'm glad we did. Thank you, What's Poppin'. I appreciate you. Sorry. Is what you were talking about before the cat's outside. Oh, your YouTube idea. Campaign problems. Yes. Campaign problems. And it does sound so fucky though, doesn't it? It sounds so fucky, but I honestly couldn't figure out how to do it. And then I thought about you know, the fact that I find a lot of, if you're a casual listener to someone like Taylor Swift, for example, oh my God, the Swifties are going to come for me. I mentioned her name. Fuck, damn it. I better say at least 3 nice things about her before I say any criticism. She's like a great lyricist, tells amazing stories, has fantastic, you know, melody arrangements, brilliant musician, no problems whatsoever. Thanks, I know a way the United States could help with the worker shortage, free robots being made in Japan and India to help states out. I mean, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but okay, cool, no worries. Sure, go off, King. Any hoozles. But when you actually, if you know anything about her life and what's actually gone on in her life, and you know the background and stuff, some of the stuff that she said in her songs, some of her self-pity comes across really cringy. Like, the self-pity comes across really cringy sometimes. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like that's the kind of, I'm going to like play into that a little bit with the tone of these songs. Do you know what I mean? Yes. So, yeah, just play into that little bit of a cringiness of being like, I'm the victim. It's me. Poor me. Poor rich white girl who didn't behave very well but doesn't really have that good of any sort of self-reflection because she's a little princess who hasn't really ever been made to do too much self-reflection. Like, I just feel like that tone is the perfect tone for an IDF pity party campaign video, because we can't just indiscriminately kill them. People keep complaining. It's so hard to pop a shot off. Anyway, I'm not going to do it now. It's okay, they are gone. Okay. Who are they? Where did they go? And it plays the status quo of princess victim mentality, weak women, strong man, WTA. Yes, exactly. For that reason, I refuse to learn anything about an artist. And I think that's a safe idea, honestly. I really think the only way you can truly separate the art from the artist is if you do know nothing about the artist whatsoever. But even still, I think that some of their ideas and stuff are going to come through in their artwork anyway. And so you learn about them a bit in that way. And that's why I think a song like Champagne Problems works so well, is because if you listen to the lyrics of that song, this person's having a real pity party that they've broken somebody else's heart. And I'm like the song is basically like, I'm really sorry, like, this is really hurting me too. Don't worry, you're going to be okay. Look how sad this is making me. Like, that's just how it feels listening to it. And it probably is because I know stuff about her life and whatever. And I'm not at all, like, that's just how it feels to me. I'm not having a go at this poor girl who, like, I'm not at all trying to, anyway, whatever, she's a billionaire. She doesn't need my sympathy. She doesn't need my pity. She's also a product. I have no idea who she is as a person at all. I only know about the product Taylor Swift, and the product Taylor Swift is cringy. You know what I mean? I can unironically listen to those songs and bawl my eyes out and get caught up in the emotion of feeling that way. But as a fully well-rounded, mature adult woman, I can't listen to a song like Champagne Problems and not think to myself, shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? You have misled this person dramatically. Like, yes, the brand, the image, exactly. Yeah. Wavelengths be wavelengthing. I tell ya. 4 minutes until my next chance to do a bone cone, which is my bone cone I missed from last time. I'm not going to miss it. Don't worry. Now knowing the J. Oh. Me just learning Champagne Problems is a Taylor Swift song. Not knowing the joke went straight over my head. Oh. Oh, there you go. But you still got it, right? Because it's a very layered kind of joke. Like, I feel like it is anyway. I hope so. There's no such thing as Free Palestine. Can you just go away? Because you don't know what you're talking about. How do I get rid of this person? You need to disappear quickly before I lose my shit. Ban! I just ban ya. You banned, bitch! What's bappin'? Are you really going to try and reason with the person who said that? Like, the fact that you started with the ... like, what the fuck? Like, you had to start with, hang on, what the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about? God, I love people like that. This is why I love the Vaught After Dark too. Because people just like coming in here saying the wildest shit. Yeah. Not AZ. Yes, thank you. Coming in spitting facts. He already been banned. He gone. Tattoo lover. Enough with the robots. Yeah, spreading false info, then telling people they're brainwashed. Classic IDF tactic, that one. I knew it was layered, just didn't know what the layers were. You were still with us. You were still with us, Callie-Ann. It's all good. It's all good. All welcome on this ride. All welcome on this ride. Doesn't matter what speed your carriage is operating at. Doesn't matter, how long the carriage takes to catch up. Doesn't matter if the carriage is raising ahead. We're all here. We're all together. We're doing it together. It's all good. I always love, because my name originates from the Georgian region, Tamara, and a lot of people, like, because it's Arabic in origin. And so I learned a little bit about the history and stuff, not because, like, I'm not an expert by any means, but just I'm autistic, and I'm like, where does my name come from? Oh my gosh, there's like a famous princess with my name. Fuck yeah, like, I want to know about her. Tell me all about this Georgian princess, like. I have a pumpkin. Brilliant. Best fucking eco carriage ever. Loving it. Like, you are leagues ahead of the rest of us, bitch, with your eco super sleek pumpkin carriage. It's the color of the season too. Hello, orange is on, like, everybody is, like, orange is 100% the color of the summer in the Northern Hemisphere, which means it's going to be the color of our next summer. It's going to be the summer color, like the sunset pumpkin orange. You're already, look at you. You can't say anything other than I'm not going to be able to find a way to compliment you, Kelly. I can't help it. Can't help it. But yeah, so we were talking earlier about campaign problems. So yeah, it's a very, very simple, like, it's literally just one chord. The song is literally just one chord. It's a very, very easy song to sing. To play. The problem is that I'm learning the music to sing it on the piano so I can practice singing it. And that's a little bit trickier, and it's a little bit out of my range, that song. So I might drop it an octave, because I do talk in a higher pitch when I'm on live stream, and it actually does work at not straining my voice as much when I talk in a higher pitch. But my natural range is a fair bit lower. I do talk higher when I'm on live stream, don't I? In a much higher pitch. I can't even help it at this point. It's so automatic. It's the internet voice. You put on the TikTok accent, like the higher pitch, the higher register. I need more friends. I'd love to meet more Irish people. Gosh almighty. Did I miss my ad break? Tattoo lover? Ad starting soon. I didn't miss my ad break. Thank you. I didn't miss my ad break. I'm gonna hide behind the sign. And then the other thing that I was going to say as well is 24-hour live stream on Saturday. Put it in your calendars. Don't forget. It's important. It's my birthday. It's my birthday, guys. This Saturday. 24-hour live stream. I'm going to be going to bed at like midday on Friday, so we probably won't have a live stream on Friday. So that I can hopefully stay up for long enough to be entertaining the following day. Birthday live stream! And we're going to be auctioning off the lovely lady as well. We're going to be auctioning off this lovely lady as well on the live stream. So, see you there. Please. Please. Please come. Tell your friends. It'll be fun. Are you sitting with other people? Yes, I am sitting with other people. I am sitting with another person. I am sitting with an other people. An other people. Hi, James. Welcome. It starts what time Saturday? So your time, Tim, I believe it'll be 10 p.m. Friday night. Will it be 10 p.m.? No, it won't be. It'll be 2 a.m. Yeah, sorry, wrong way. It'll be 2 a.m. for you that it'll start on Saturday morning. 24-hour live stream. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Hey, TJ. Welcome back. Good to see ya. And it may or may not be contain cult recruitment. All of my content may or may not contain cult recruitment. Link in bio. Link in bio to join the cult. It's going to be fun though. I have not organised anything that I said I was going to organise. Unfortunately, my friend has gone through some shit and it's been distracting me. No fault. Like, I'm not blaming my friend at all. But I've just been all caught up in that. And so I've been just like, fuck it. The live stream can go fuck itself. It'll be fine. It's my birthday. Nothing's allowed to go wrong. It's a rule. Look it up. Don't you know? By the way, if anybody would like to help me out, on my main account, there is a video that I made about the way that the US military is secretly creating TikTok campaigns, recruitment campaigns. If you could all help me out by boosting that video. Not because, like, I just really am quite disappointed that people have no idea about this. Yeah, the PSYOP video. Because people just have no idea about this. Even if you want to create your own video talking about it, like, you don't have to promote my video. I'm not, like, but, like, if we could just maybe get some others talking about this. If anyone has access to the creator backdrop and you can see it at all, if you are of the male persuasion, you'll probably actually be able to see the military campaign that's being offered. Specifically, I don't have access to that. I haven't been offered. I get offered a lot of, please put on a skimpy outfit and dance in a club for us. That's a lot of... Most of the ones I get offered, I'm not kidding, involve like a bikini or negligee or like, yeah. Because everyone was talking about how BookTok was popping off constantly because people were using these viral sounds to promote books, not realizing that they were part of campaigns that, like, the author would pick a sound and then promote the sound, like they were working with the artist in order to also then promote their book, or in order to, you know, recruit people into the military or whatever it is that they're trying to do. How many cans do you drink a day? It depends on their availability, depending on if they're at the food bank, because they're not always availability, but anywhere from like 2 to 3. I try not to drink any more than 2, but this is my second, so I've done good today. This is only my second for the day. And I shouldn't be drinking it. And I don't drink it every day either. I will say that. I don't always have it, as I said. But when I do have it, yeah, I'll drink 2 a day on average. I do also, however, drink 6 cups of coffee a day. So... Ad break! I forgot that there was an ad break. I'm hiding behind the sign. Don't pay attention to what I'm doing over here. Oh, what do you say, Tim? Haha, that's it. No worries. All good. Belle, why aren't you here, Belle? You're awake. You're not supposed to be awake. Yeah, it's crazy how the military wants to draft people again. It is. I mean, to be honest, the military is one of those great places where they just get to, like, they're a black money hole. They're just a black money hole. They just ask for billions and billions and people just go, no worries, here you go. Like, their budget is in the trillions. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Like, can you imagine? And people go, oh, they have to, otherwise... Before the Second World War, they weren't even considered at all, like, military. They were, like, people don't realise this. It's like, they don't need that at all. We haven't ever needed that. Like, what are you? They created it. They are the reason that they have that. They have it because they want it. Incoming coughing fit. What we could do with those funds, I know. We could cure homelessness 1,000,000 times over. We could cure homelessness 1 billion times over. We could literally cure homelessness 1 billion times over. Only in our country, mind you. But we could cure homelessness the world over with $1 trillion. I mean, we would also tank a lot of economies. So, win-win. That's going to go on a shirt now as well. We could solve homelessness and take the economy. Win-win. Win-win. Now, am I going to cough? You got to cough to get off, they say. There is a cough coming. I can feel it. It's right there at the back of my nose. Well, I know. There it is. I just noticed that I have this Rit Dime or Synthetic Peacock Green. What should I do with this? I'm going to think of something to do with this now because I've seen it and it's like ADHD. It's in my face. Shook the jar, shook the marbles. It's at the top of the thing again. Now I've got to think of something to do with it. Oof. I wish I could do it without the coughing though, honestly. Oh. I mean, I'm pretty sure that everybody is aware that all movies that feature the military get the military stamp of approval. So they're all basically military propaganda. And it's the same with all cop shows. All cop shows get the stamp of approval of the police force. Because the reason that cop shows are so prolific and the reason that military movies are so prolific is because they will donate a lot of resources, including stations, including weapons, including bases, like the planes and pilots are donated in a lot of these, in like a lot of the military, Navy, what do you call it? Air Force movies that they make. The tea, I have my tea though. And so it saves them a fuck ton of money because that stuff costs a hell of a lot. So they get a good product for real cheap. And this is why cop movies are so prolific. Cop shows are so prolific because they're so cheap to produce. All of the props and stuff. Like you think about the Rookie, all the body cams and stuff are provided free of charge. And you think about it, they use the footage from those body cams in the show. So the equipment that they are recording the show on is being provided free of charge. So it keeps production costs way down, but they have to allow the police to give the stamp of approval, which I'm undoing the top button of my pants because that cough has hurt my little tummy. So it means that even if they get bad ratings, even if nobody is watching these shows anymore, even if, like, for example, Blue Bloods, the only people who are watching it are your grandparents, which, I mean, isn't the case. I know it's one of the highest rating television series in America, which is depressing as fuck. But even if no one was watching except your aunt and uncle, your racist aunt and uncle who live out in the, middle of nowhere, it's still worth it for them to keep producing it because it's so cheap. It's so cheap for them to produce it. But in exchange for it being so cheap to produce, they basically just... The Rookie is basically high fantasy. Yeah. Oh. My nose ring keeps coming out. They train the police officers for a start. Yeah, they don't do that in real life. They spend a lot more hours... Like, the Rookie has spent a lot more years being a rookie on the television show than any police officer has ever had to do ever in real life. Like, in the history of forever. Thank you, Fat Greedy Landlord. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do a lot of work to maintain my... I was actually talking about that earlier as well. I was talking about the amount of work I've had to do on this property because the woman who owned it before us, she did live in it originally, but then she's been renting it out for the last few years, and so the maintenance of the property hasn't been getting done. So things like the motors and the shutters, which we were happy to have, because obviously, massive bonus to have those sorts of things already included in the house, was so funny too, because there was a young girl who was also looking at the property and was interested, and I could see her mum really trying to get her to pay attention to those sorts of things. Like, the size of my deck is massive. My deck is as big as my living space, honestly. But it hasn't been repaired or it hasn't been maintained. It hasn't been oiled in a few years. I can see that no work's been done on it. It was all rusted out underneath because no one's done any like rust proofing or anything on it in a few years. So we had to do all that sort of stuff like as soon as we moved in. Oh. And like things like, things that went out very quickly because obviously they were on their way out, like the exhaust fan, and we've had to get the motors and things replaced or fixed, like the air conditioner's on its way out. There's things like that. And it's just a result of the fact that, like the sprinkler system when we moved in, we had to do a lot of work overhauling that because that hadn't been maintained in a number of years. It's just a result of the fact that landlords take less care of their property than owner-occupiers. And so for the sake of the longevity of all of our homes, we should want more people to have ownership in the sense of private ownership of their dwelling. Like, it's not like personal ownership, personal property. This is your home to live in, and, we remove fences because the land is communal. Obviously, you can have your kitchen garden. That's where the idea of the kitchen garden came from. But houses don't need to be this fucking close together. We have fences because the houses are close together. If we had the houses further apart, we wouldn't need, and we don't need our houses to be that close together. We really bloody well don't. We don't need our houses to be that big. Like, do you know that Australians on average have the largest house sizes in the developed world? Do you know that? Like, do you know that Australia, our housing footprint is on average larger than those in the US? In Australia, we are just so anti-tiny homes or apartment living. Like, I don't know why we are, but we have the largest average house footprint in the developed Western world. I also have a huge deck. Ah! sure I would love Venezuela. I'm sure I would love Venezuela because, you know, only racists like to take another country and completely distill it down to, you know, the worst things people could find to say about it in the worst light possible, especially when a lot of those things are Western propaganda. But, you know, as I said, I was just talking about Bullsbrook up the road from us here, where they don't have drinkable water. They don't have access to drinkable water in their homes. Their water, they can't even wash their clothes in the water because it's so toxic. The water in Bullsbrook in Western Australia. So, you know, but go off about wherever, you know, wherever you're deciding you're going to be racist towards. So many bungalows, barely built up or down. Yeah, absolutely. We just don't. We absolutely don't. But again, I don't think we need to necessarily build up or down. However, we need to downsize. Like, I think rather, and I think it is a better way for us to go in Australia particularly, because if you have a look at things like our power grid, for example, we do not have, our power grid is struggling as it is. Our power grid is not, that's one of the reasons why no one's really in a rush to do anything about housing either, is because we don't have the infrastructure to really support the amount of housing we really need to build in order to sustain the housing as a commodity model. We don't need to continue doing that. We do continue doing that. I don't know why. I'm going to jump off in a second too, guys, because I'm starting to get a bit of a neck crick. I'm starting to get a neck crick. Ugh. Nee. What are you doing? Just. Oh, you put Oasis on, did you? Yeah, Charlotte. Is it? Is that who you're playing? Oh no, that's Oasis.
Yes, Oasis.
Oh. I wasn't sure who you were playing. There you go. But yeah, we need to change the way we think about housing. And I think the really good thing about tiny housing as an option, while again, I don't think it should be the only option. I absolutely don't think it should be the only option. But the good thing about it is that it can be very self-contained. So for example, we can put like 15 tiny houses, small footprint houses, for people on a block where we have a large communal kitchen. So everyone has a like kitchenette or whatever in their homes. Everyone has their private space with plenty of light and, you know, whatever they want. But we have lots of communal spaces where people can gather, because that's what we are really lacking. And even in homes, we look at like the best sort of home designs. They have places where people can go and be on their own, but they also have places where people can come together as a family. And you sort of want to do that, but on a community basis. That's the best way. That's the best way to build strong community relationships. You take down the fences, you build smaller. Like, even if you think about the current community where you live, the current suburb where you live, probably not actually, because we have started building our houses so close together, it's ridiculous. But if you were to take a small house footprint and put it in your average quarter-acre block, and remove the fences, but make all the houses around tiny houses as well. You know, you're thinking like 5 by 5 meter houses, or like whatever dimensions you want, but that kind of footprint. It doesn't matter. Like, your houses are far enough away from each other, and you've got a lot more land that is usable for things like, because you think about how many people are actually living in the houses around you. Each of these houses around are massive, and you've got 2 and 3 people living in each of them. It's completely unnecessary to have all of that space. Like, it's completely unnecessary. If there are places that you can go, you know, like if you have, for example, in the middle of the property, if you had a lovely, you know, gazebo that people could go and hang out in, and over here you had a lovely sitting area or a lovely little library that people could go and hang out in, then because you don't all need to have a library in your house. That's the problem, is that we keep, again, capitalism wants us all to be individuals, and we all need to have our own microwave and our own toaster and our own lounge room and our own study and our own sewing room and our own studio and our own, well, no, we could create communal spaces to do those kinds of things that are easily accessible. So each block of 6 houses or each block of 12 houses has a shared kitchen space or has a shared, like, I mean, for God's sake, we do it when we're on holidays all the bloody time. I just feel like, once again, we all expect 24-hour power. We all expect no abrasions in our house. We expect to have the latest videos on demand at all times. We expect to have, like, Uber Eats available to us whenever we want. We want the internet available to us whenever we want. And we have to start getting used to a lower standard of living. And we have to start getting used to, and we have to start thinking about ways we can be more productive with limited resources. Because we can no longer, like, people keep saying, okay, how do you plan on building iPhones in your commune? We can't afford to keep building iPhones, guys. Like, it's done. It's over now. Like, stop asking me about, like, we're done. We don't, like, there are no more. This is it. Like, it's crumbling now. We're at that point. We're at the point where it's all going to start crumbling. We're now going to try and figure out how to make do with what's still available to us. Because we're at that part of, like, the Ring World story, you know? Far out. Yeah, my wife's family in Bangladesh own an entire apartment building, like 7 apartments. Everyone owns an apartment, but all the doors are open and everyone eats at the same place. Yeah. And see, it's very much more communal sort of, and again, they, I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I definitely feel as though within the Indian culture, there is a lot more of that intergenerational living that, like, we have in Indigenous culture as well. It seems like people of, I mean, I feel like world over, people of colour do tend to do a lot more intergenerational living than we do in the white Western world, and the expectation is in the white Western world. Like, for example, like, as much as me and my mum butt heads, like, her plan is to come and live on the property with me as soon as we've got the setup. Like, intergenerational living is very much a thing. Like, my mum's already talking about, like, she was bringing up the other day, she was going on the other day about her mum's best friend who is unwell and is looking at the end of her life. And she's talking about, but look how wonderful you've made the last 20 years of her life and all the things you've done together. And she's, like, looking sideways at me like, you know, you're going to come and ask me to live with you so we can do wonderful things together? I'm like, okay, you're not that close to the end, girl. Calm down. But anyway, like, chill. Love the fingernails. Yeah, they're only, like, half there now. I keep scratching them off. But they're getting there. I have to cut them again, though, because unfortunately, they do hurt when playing the piano if they're not short enough. Yeah, absolutely. So much easier to manage kids and jobs. It is. And I even remember, like, we lived with my brother and my sister-in-law, and we would split the cooking and stuff into days. Like, they would cook 3 days a week, then we would cook 3 days a week, then they would cook 3 days a week, then we would cook 3 days a week. And it worked really well because the rotating days meant that you weren't always cooking on the weekends, or you weren't always cooking, or it was 4 and 4, wasn't it? It was, we would do 4, they would do 4. And that was really good because then we would split it up into, like, if you're going to do 2 nights, like, I'll do these 2 nights, I'll do the cooking, and then those 2 nights I'm going to do the cleaning. And what I used to do as well is would separate also the jobs. So then I would be like, on my 4 and our 4 days to do the cooking, I would also, for example, like, wipe down the like, on day 4, I would, like, wipe down all the cupboards and things, and I'd do all, like, you know, you do all the deep clean of the kitchen and that. So I would only have to do that once a week. And then 4 days later, somebody else would do it, you know, like my brother and sister-in-law would take care of it 4 days later. So it was like the workload was never that heavy. Like, you were always sharing it with 3 other people. So, and we were all working part-time. We all had part-time jobs because we didn't have to earn as much. Like, it was like, if we had had more space, like, space was definitely an issue because we had 5 kids living in a 2-bedroom house. So it was a lot. It was absolutely a lot. Like, oh my gosh, I'm disassociated thinking about it. God almighty. It was a lot, not going to lie, but I would do it again in a heartbeat if we had the space, because it was a real reduction in workload. It really was. Yeah, they also have maids. It's a porta potty. But you don't really need it when you've got, like, you know, 7 houses, say, like in a group, and let's say that you've got 10 adults within those 7, because some are married and some have adult children, and some it's just them. And like you're all communal cooking, and you're separated out on days, then you're only cooking and cleaning once a fortnight. You know what I mean? Like, you can do a big cook up once a fortnight, and you're also, I mean, you're not doing it by yourself even. Like, you might cook 2 or 3 times a week as a group or whatever, or like the workload is reduced, which means, for example, and you also do each according to their ability, each according to their need, which means if you've got somebody who's working and like doing building, for example, and they're building until 7 p.m. and they're coming in exhausted, we're not expecting that person to also be doing the cooking or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously you would, on days where you weren't doing things like building, it would be like, hey, can you help out in the kitchen on this day? Because, you know, it's a chill day for you. And it's like, yeah, no worries, because you're happy to contribute to your community. That's the kind of vibe you want to create. And when you've got a lot of, like, many hands make light work, that's the, you know, you need just to have a community spirit. You want to be looking out for each other, and then people look out for you, and the workload reduces dramatically. Thanks, Liana. Good to have you here. How you going? Did you do the same paint job on the toes too? No, I didn't. I just picked one of the colours. I picked, well, I did, okay, so I picked 2 of the colours to layer. So I did like an orange with a pink layering on the toe. So I did the orange undercoat with the pink overcoat. Stuff. It is an obvious issue in the local community. Oh, so I don't live in WA, but have met 4 people from Bunbury, Mandurah. All have, yeah. It is. It absolutely is. In particular, the one that they give to people with ADHD, self-prescribed, is a very, very, very large problem. And also, something that isn't talked about anywhere near as much is the, you know how you eat a lot of cereal for breakfast cereal, and a lot of people just like demolish that stuff. You could call them like unalivers of cereal unalivers. We got a real problem with that in WA as well, on account of the transient nature of mine workers, which is also why the hard substances is an issue, and the long distances and spaces between places, lots of places for people. Whenever anyone turns around and says, oh, you know, most unalivings get solved, I'm like, yeah, except where I live, interestingly enough. We are the unidentified unaliver of cereal capital of the world, I believe, in my particular state. But yeah, many hands make light work, and I think the thing that hurts so many of us is that when our friends need us or would even just like us to be closer, and we're unable to do it. Like right now, there's nothing me and my friends would like more than to all be together. We're trying to figure out how to make it happen, because I've got a friend who's going through a really hard time. So we're trying to figure out how to make it happen. It's not like it's hard because you know, just is. The cost. It comes down to the cost, honestly. Like, that's the biggest problem ever since the pandemic. They've realised how much we desire to be able to go and visit others, and they've realised, like cheese, they can make us pay whatever they want for it, for the privilege. So working out how we're going to get everybody here, or get everyone together in one place, is the issue. Yeah, but we'll see. We're working on it. We're definitely working on it. And the thing is, I got the space. I got the space for Miles. In contrast of the orange nail to your eyes is really nice. Oh, thank you. I didn't even notice that. Thank you. Continues. Is Albury? Albury Mandurah is a known hotspot for the type of activity. Mandurah certainly. In the Great Southern region, which is the area that I sort of tend to work, you're sort of looking more areas like Katanning, more inland, that are known more for it. It's a problem in other areas, coastal areas, as a transit point. Like, a lot of it comes through our town in that way. But in terms of people finding, and again, it comes back to the rats in the cages, right? If you have access to proper medical treatment for ADHD diagnosis, there's less need to self-medicate. So that's one thing. Number two, the rats in the cage, if you don't provide them anything but the substances to distract themselves with, they're going to use and abuse substances. When you provide them a wide range of other ways that they can entertain themselves or participate in community, participate in the workforce, other opportunities, they're much less likely to do that. And so, which is why, despite the fact that they are available in more coastal towns, they are much more likely to be used in places that have less resources. So places like Katanning, and I mentioned Katanning in particular because a lot of the services in Katanning, like places like Northern, the Wheat Belt, a lot of towns in the Wheat Belt, because you have to pay people who work in those regions more for working in those regions, a lot of community services, to save money, will send people out to those regions like one day a fortnight. So I, again, working throughout the entire Great Southern, would get some, and not even to the Great Southern, like I worked from Perth, like Collier, Harvey, that region, all the way down to the coast. That was the area that I covered. And like from the Parongarups border across, so not all the way to Kalgoorlie. I didn't have to go out to Kalgoorlie. That was handled by a different group, but, from Harvey sort of down along. And the places where it was an issue were the places where, is the cereal or is it a euphemism? It's what? Cereal, there's a play on words. You know how, like, a series can also be called a cereal? It's that kind of spelling. I could listen to you all day. Oh, well, thank you, TJ. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Appreciate it greatly. Forgot what I was talking about now. You've distracted me with that. Charmer. What was I talking about? Forgot. What was I talking about? No, before that. You're clearly not listening. Yeah, thank you. Continues. Good one. But what was I talking about before that? Oh, the issues in the Great Southern with service availability. Yes. So we had 2 people to cover that entire area, and we would get sent out like once every 3 months to some places. And the job was housing support to try and stop tenancies. Now, you can have a problem arise in a tenancy, and that problem can lead to eviction within 3 months. And we wouldn't be visiting some of these towns from, within 3 months. So, but that was all that the funding was provided. And yeah, and you wonder why people who are desperate don't have services, don't have, bread and circuses even. They don't even get basic fucking bread and circuses. Food's so expensive in some of these places. They can't even afford the bread part of bread and circuses, let alone the circuses part of bread and circuses. Also, this is absolutely how cults start. We're in the cult. Join the cult. Join us. Join us. Join us. Join us. Join us. Join us. Oop, I'm slacking. Your t-shirt should be in the post. I am working on the shirts. I'm embroidering the shirts. They are going to go on sale to raise money if anyone is interested in an embroidered shirt. So I'm buying them. I'm going to do a little post on how I'm organising them tomorrow. So, yes, where I work. That's what we're talking about. Thank you. Spaffin. But yes, the live stream on Saturday. So my version of merch is going to be shirts that I'm buying from Goodwill. I'm going to buy a variety of different sizes of their $1 shirts. Embroider the sayings from the void that you can find on our thingio, on our sayings from the void are on our Discord. When you purchase the shirt, it'll give you a range of options to choose from for the saying that you would like. Or if you are a Discord member, you can choose from the list of sayings available in the Discord, any of the approved sayings in the Discord. And by the way, members are able to just add whatever sayings they want in there. But be warned, I might not advertise that I created your shirt in particular if it's something dodgy. And I will not be creating anything that doesn't align with our views either in the void. It's not a cult, though. We just have a fearless leader who we much behind and trust, believe in. And who is telling us that they're getting advice from as at the moment, unseen deity. Because our Lord and Saviour hasn't been seen in a while. No one's seen of the Lord and Saviour in a while. So now there's also, I'm just saying, it's getting more cult-like by the day, guys. It is getting more cult-like by the day. And my voice is starting to decline, which does tell you that it's probably getting close to time for me to log off. Because I do not want to damage my throat. I have a 24-hour live stream to do on Saturday. Don't forget. In case you forgot, 24-hour live stream on Saturday. Put it in your books. Put it in your notebooks. We're going to be live streaming in all of the places. In all of them. It's going to be wild. It's going to be fabulous. We're going to have guests galore. I've got a new backdrop coming. We've got animations. Liliana sips Kool-Aid. Exactly. But we spike the Kool-Aid with rum in these parts. And we warn people in case they don't want to consume it with rum in it. So, it's a fun cult. It's the fun kind of cult, not the doomsday kind of cult. Okay? We're the fun kind of cult, not the doomsday kind of cult. Just remember that. The fun one. 24-hour day. It's going to be a mission, all right, but I have done it before. Again, we did do it for the birth of our Lord and Saviour, which is going to be an annual tradition. We are going to do the 24-hour live stream for our Lord and Saviour, and this week is the 24-hour live stream, birthday live stream for me. And for my birthday, I'm hoping that we can meet Wael's goal to help his family. Unfortunately, yeah, they are trapped in a horrific situation, and we're hoping. Yes. Oh, Wael, please give them my love. Give them my love. And please, Wael, ask your lovely fiancé when you speak with her to let me know to design her dream dress, please. Because I can't wait to get started on it for her. So please ask her if she can send me her dream dress, what she would like. Because I can't wait to get started, and I will send it to you as soon as I've finished it. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see her in it. I cannot wait to see her, yes, safely in Egypt with you wearing it. I can't wait. You don't have to share it with me, though, of course. You don't have to share it. I don't expect you to share any pictures or anything with me, but I just can't wait to hear that's happened, at least. Yes. What will you be doing to keep your voice and energy for the stream? I will have my friends joining me. I'll be having lots of friends joining me who I've bribed or threatened, depends. I will be regularly asking for the Void to join me as well. The link will be in the chat for the Void. Void After Dark, I don't tend to put it in there because I don't know why, actually. I should. I forget. Mainly I forget. That's mainly the only reason. But I'll be inviting the Void to come in, and also I will just nap on the live stream. And my other thing is I will be finishing this garment on the live stream. So during some of that time, I will actually have other people on the live stream talking. I'm going to have guests. I'm going to be begging all of my friends. Tim, I see you. I see you in the live stream. I'm expecting you to step in and help. To come on and help entertain the masses We're getting new light snacks all the time. Yes. Yes. So that I will also be protecting my voice. Wait, you design dresses. Did you start with Simplicity Vogue or Butterwick patterns or custom? So, continues. I learned to sew when I was 6. My grandmother taught me. She was the first one to teach me, and she taught me tailoring because she was a tailor. She prefers to use patterns. She does prefer to work from a block pattern, but she taught me how to make a block pattern. My adopted grandmother, so my mother was stolen gen, so she had 2 mums. My adopted mother taught me how to tailor garments from scratch, making brand new patterns from scratch. So I did learn to pattern dresses very early on. However, these days I much prefer to... I use the Keystone Dressmaker's Guide, so I tailor my own patterns using mathematical process. So kind of like what my gran taught me, but it's sort of maybe a step back from what she used to do, if that makes sense. Like like one grandma sort of, it was like steps towards purchase patterns. So I had one gran who was like one step under purchase patterns, where she made a block pattern and then used that and just altered that for all of her garments. I had another grandmother who was a step underneath that, where she would make her own patterns for all of her dresses. And now I'm sort of a step below that, where everything that I make, I either mathematically work out how it's going to fit me so that I don't have to make multiple attempts. So I create my own patterns on paper and then just cut them out and turn them into clothes, and that's it. Because I do a lot of historical dress, and so a lot of it isn't in measurements, it's in percentages. So you have to get really creative. And then the other thing that I like to do is pattern drafting, which is when I get, this is what I do a lot of. This is the most creative form I find. I like doing mathematical pattern drafting. For me, scratches a really good, interesting part of my brain. Like, it scratches my brain in this fabulous way. The same sort of way that hand sewing does, like getting into that rhythm of hand sewing and getting it really precise and being really intricate. Draping, scratches another part of my brain that's very much more like the part of my brain that likes listening to complex music and slam poetry and, like, you know, that kind of rhythmic dance almost. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's the tism. It's hard to explain. Continues. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm also mob. Yeah. So my mob is also New South Wales. I'm Koori. My mum was the last one born on country. She was removed and taken to Mercy House in the Northern Territory when she was 4. Her mum moved to the Northern Territory to try and get away from, because she had a kid taken off of her. Anyway, long story. Moved to the Northern Territory, and that's where my mum was taken when she was 4. So that my mum was the last one born on country, unfortunately, but in our family. But I do like to get over there when I can. I have taken my kids. My son has been back to country. My daughter hasn't yet. We have got to plan a trip. We got to plan a trip back. It's been too long, but we do get out on country in the local community a lot, and that is becoming a lot more. Hey, I'm Rodri. Oh my goodness. No fucking way. We're probably cousins, mate. We're probably related. Don't even. Though Wajiri is a very big nation, so like, I'm not going to get too excited. Half the mob I speak to want to hear a Wajiri. So whenever I say Koori, it's like, you're from this big part here too? Yeah. Also, samesies. Twins. I am going to log off now though because it's nearly 2.5 hours. All right, we'll go another 10 minutes. I'll see if I can do one more bone cone time. One more bone cone time and then I'm logging off. And unfortunately that happens far too often too. Yes, but local community resources problem. We're getting new... Hey? Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you, invisible friend, who will stay out of frame and help me do this. It's funny too, because I was talking before, about the TikTok accent and about... I was doing it before for the kids too. They were asking me to put different accents on. It was so funny because they asked me to do Irish and they asked me to do... I was doing English and I did French. And then my son says to me, do Chinese. And I just went, nope, absolutely not. And then I said to him, do you want me to do my original accent? Do you want me to do my homegrown, honest, true blue, the way I used to talk when I was your age accent? And they're like, yeah, go on. And so I did. I slipped into it. And it was quite tricky, actually. It took me a little while to let my tongue loosen up. It took me a little while to let my throat loosen up, actually. I can still feel it. I can still feel the way I have to work these muscles. But anyway, and they were losing it. They were absolutely losing it. They were like, we would have talked that way. Oh my goodness, that accent's so much cooler. Why can't we speak like that? I was like, I don't know why. I mean, I do know when we moved from the Northern Territory to Western Australia, my mum, and again, understandable why. I say this all the time. I have so much empathy in my heart for my mum. I really do. Her experience with she always wanted us to know we were Indigenous and she always wanted us to know our culture, but she always really wanted us to make sure that no doctors ever knew, no teachers ever knew, the police never knew. She just said to us, it was dangerous. It was a dangerous thing for people to know it about us because it was for her. That was her experience with being Indigenous. She really, really, still to this day, struggles. Like when my kid was diagnosed with a medical condition, when I was taking him into the hospital one time because he had a flare-up, she says to me, just make sure they don't know you're Indigenous or they're not going to take you seriously. And I just thought to myself, how awful that this woman has carried this, because at this point, her grandson's the same age she was when she was taken. That pain has been with her and she's carried it. And it's affecting, it's got to have an effect intergenerationally. We know it does. We know it absolutely does. What are we talking about here? Oh, I did. I keep showing off my saxophone. I'm Sicilian, Irish, German, and Rudry. Whenever I read or say something, I have an accent. Yeah. and that's exactly it. And that's what I said to my kids too. I was like, I am absolutely under no circumstances going to say anything in an accent that I cannot in any shape or form claim in some way. Not that I can claim Irish I can. They can claim Irish. I can't claim Irish. Their dad is like part Irish. His dad was Irish. His dad was full-blooded Irish. Full-blooded, fresh off the boat. He was like, yeah, on one side, and that's the thing I think about our melting pot cultures, and it's why it drives me so crazy when people try and do racist shit in this country, because we live in a world where you can be 50%, Indigenous inhabitants of a country and 50% first generation inhabitants of a country, and that's fucking, like, in a world where it's now and not back then when it was colonialism and it was being forced upon them, because that's what resulted in this skin tone. But nowadays, it's great, But it shouldn't be, it should never, anyway, whatever. I'm losing my fucking mind. I need to do another bonus content time. We're nearly at 2.5 hours. My neck is really fucking starting to kill me. I need to work on how I'm going to sit for this 24-hour stream, don't I? Or I'm going to throw myself up royally. I keep trying to pretend I'm not swearing. I am absolutely swearing. I also need to get on with sewing this thing. And that'll also help protect my voice if I focus on trying to sew. Gosh almighty. But I would like I would like to be able to play whatever music I wanted in the background without getting copyright struck. If someone could figure out how we could make that happen, that would be great. Thanks. Fabulous. Awesome. There's been no stitching up so far. None. Absolutely none. Not even a little bit. My neck is fricked. I cannot even tell you how much. It's because I've been... Huh? Yeah. It's right in the wrong spot too, isn't it? Oh, that was a dodgy... That was a dodgy hole. I wonder how many people caught that. Lordy Lord. I need to stitch up most of my clothing too. I keep... Honest to goodness, I keep just grabbing whatever clothes are in my repair box, the box that I have sitting at the end of my bed that needs to be repaired. Whenever I get clothes out and I see that they've got a hole or something in them, because moths happen, I chuck them in this box at the end of my bed, and then I go to get dressed and I go, I'm not going anywhere, I'll just wear this shitty old thing. That wouldn't be a shitty old thing if I just repaired the fucking hole in the nip. And I know what I'm going to do too. I am going to do a big ass fucking flower. Maybe I should do that. I'm going to get off the live stream so I can embroider a big fucking ass tit flower. And I am going to tell you right now, shirts. Don't forget the shirts for on the live stream. It's going to be going live on the Ko-fi. So if you want to jump onto the Discord and let us know what, check out the options in there for suggestions for the shirts. Do that, please. Do you know what? This is why we need to remember what all those commands and shit are to remind us how to stay on track. I am such a bad cult leader. Aren't I supposed to be like high control, like remember the gospel, stay on script? Nah. I can we know what the ground rules are. It's all good. Like we're doing it Jesus old school. Love thy neighbor. It's real easy. Yeah, I say my holy clothes are for painting and I just wear them as normal. Okay, Liliana, have a fucking look at this. There's literal fucking paint on these jeans. There's literal paint on my jeans because this is literally, I wore these jeans painting and then went, oh, well, these will be painting jeans from now on. Nope, I just wear them whenever. I reverse engineer a short and self-taught how to sew from there. Now I infuse jersey into my seams to allow for extra movement. Ooh, very clever. Very, very clever. Again, because I was sort of taught pattern drafting first, I was very much taught tailoring first. All my clothes have paint on them. All of them. Yep. That sounds like the ADHD/tism. That sounds very familiar. Absolutely. I am getting lightheaded from talking. I need to take a deep breath. Give me a moment while I hide behind this sun and take a deep breath for no particular reason. Do you mind microwaving that for me? Because I've allowed that to go cold and that is just unacceptable. Unacceptable. Oh, thank you, TJ. Thank you, TJ. Do you know what? When you simply make it real clear that everyone... like, it's actually not... It's surprising how easy it is. It's surprising how many people just want to be around people that are going to be kind to them and going to be good to them. Like, that's all we want. It's all we want. It's a hidden seam which causes a t-shirt to bend and shape to the body instead of body to the clothes. Oh, I like that. I like that. See, I do sort of more the Victorian idea of I create a frame around my body and then tailor the clothes to that. And the body is inside. Because originally corseting wasn't about tight lacing. Tight lacing was a part of the corseting community, but it wasn't the idea behind corseting. Corseting was just like wearing a bra. And I do find I have made myself tailored corsets, and I find them much, much more comfortable than wearing a bra. I would much rather wear one of my corsets. Oh, I'm actually going to do, once I finish this, I'm going to on live stream, on live stream, while on live stream, I'm going to make a corset, another corset, and I'm going to show you how I do the pattern drafting as well. So, you know, just in case you're interested. But yeah, I'm getting, as I said, I'm getting lightheaded. I need to, excuse me, I need to hide behind this sign in order to take some deep breaths. Give me a moment. It is art. And honest to goodness, after I had done sort of the main structure of the corset, I did so many hand-sewn finishing details purely because it just got more and more beautiful the more I added, and the more I added, the more I loved it. Like it was, it's impossible not to. It's impossible not to. Is that being auctioned off too? So one of the ideas we did have an idea about that. This is all negotiable. All I want for my birthday is for Wael's family's fundraising goal to be met. So it's, I was thinking if we aren't able to sell the dress itself, I was willing to offer, you know, you could take me out while I'm wearing the dress, perhaps. For the right price. And with very strict ground rules, with very strict parameters. Mama didn't raise no fool. Was Bappin, your message is just sitting there like a curse staring at me on the page. I'm feeling so judged. Talk about TJ, stop it. Stop it. I'm going red in the face. Now I am getting lightheaded. Shut up and take all of my money. You guys, you're embarrassing me. I have to go behind here and take deep breaths because I'm getting lightheaded. Shh. Behave. Okay. It turns out I just needed to take one really deep breath. One really deep breath was all that was necessary. Breathe in, breathe out, cough a bunch. I'm going to see if I can do it without coughing this time. Let's see. They do say, once again. Cypress Hill, what's up? We can go halves. There's a negotiation starting in the group chat now. Great. What have I started? I'm pretty sure this is illegal. I'm pretty sure, like, human auctioning. I don't know. We'll see. But no, I am serious. Because that is, I actually was seriously considering starting an OnlyFans. And then someone told me how hard it was to get started. And I was like, I don't have that kind of time. Not in my week. I'm sorry. No, that is far too much. But a date I can pull off. That isn't going to take too much time. I can, you know, an evening, that's doable. Damn it, I coughed. I couldn't hold it in. Look at me trying to be all suave and not pulling it off. Fuck. My friend keeps telling me to do OnlyFans and I'm like, I can barely handle feeding myself. Oh my goodness. I know. Like, it's so much work. I have two friends who do OnlyFans. One who does adult entertainment as a profession. So she works as both a skimpy waitress as well as she does skimpy dancing. She does striptease. So she's a striptease artist as well as a skimpy waitress, and she does OnlyFans. And like it's all she does. That's all she does basically. It's her hobby as well as her full-time job. And then like just managing the contracts to do skimpy bar work is like a full-time job. And then I've got another friend who only does OnlyFans. And she does it as much as she would a part-time job as her only job, as her only sort of source of income. But it's like every evening, kids go to bed, she's in the bathroom producing content and sending it out to the masses. And I just don't have that kind of time. I just don't have that kind of time. Sorry. Like, I got far too much else going on. I danced for 13 years. OnlyFans is hard. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, honestly, one of the really interesting things I think is when a few years ago I said to my friend, I was like, oh, you know, I might give skimpy bar work a go, and I did for a little while, for a brief moment in time, But her first reaction when I said I was gonna do skimpy bar work is she was like, you're probably gonna have to lose a bit of weight. And I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? No way. There's no way I am gonna lose weight. Like, there's no, where am I gonna lose it from? I'm gonna lose it from my tits and my ass. Who wants to see me naked once I have no tits and ass? Like, what is the point of that? Like, that is no. Anyway, but forgot where I was going with that story. Yeah, but that was far too much. I couldn't handle that. I just couldn't handle the way you kind of have to play this political game. Yeah, Skimpy was good, but very mentally draining. Good, very good money, very mentally draining. And there's just like between the contracts and the casuals, like there's just always this political game going on too. Like it was just not. Yeah, stuck to the bartending. I just stuck to the bartending because it was, and like in town where I'm at the moment, there's a skimpy bar, and I have thought occasionally of going in there and working a couple of shifts because I know that the tips are really, really good, and you're behind a bar, like you're doing bar work, so you've got that level of safety there as well. But I don't know, it's a small town. I just don't really like the idea of all the dads at school having seen my tits. I just, like, at least with OnlyFans, there's that barrier where you can pretend at school that you don't know that it's, you know, because his number plate matches his username. You can pretend you don't know it's him. But when you're looking over the bar and he's staring at your tits ordering a drink, it's a bit harder, you know? And they make it icky. They just make it icky. Oh, you're a raging misandrist now. What? Yeah, the Marmite. Oh, I get what you mean. Sorry, I get what you mean. I was confused there for a second. I got very, very confused. The bar makes it safer, but never safe. No. I will say, there is a massive, you notice immediately the difference when you are in, like, jean shorts and sneakers and an oversized Hawaiian top on the floor, clearing tables, escorting drunk men off the premises, versus in a skimpy outfit delivering drinks to tables. There is a massive difference in the way that you are treated, and there is a massive difference to how aware you are. Like, you always have to be aware of your surroundings when you're working in hospitality, always. When there's alcohol involved, of course you do. But the difference in the clothing that you're offered in certain workplaces, it's a completely different threat level to your personal safety. Yeah, I was stalked more times than I can count, and that's the least of the dangers. Absolutely. And unfortunately too, half the time when you're getting SA'd on the job, it's the cops doing it. So, you know, I saw that TikTok today of that girl going, all cops are bastards, as all of her favourite propaganda shows popped up on the screen, and she got harder and harder. She's sitting there going, all cops are bastards. Let me know if you do start an account. Look at that Riz. Gosh. Dudes just love to talk about how he makes such easy money. God almighty. Don't they ever? Every time I hear any of my girlfriends talk about it, I'm just like, holy shit, no way. No way. I made good enough tips as a bartender. Like, I made good enough tips as a bartender, especially because I used to I had kids, so I'd give them the mum sass. All men love it. All men love the mum sass. They do. It's great. They got a thing for it, I tell ya. That does make easy money, I'm not going to lie. But anyway. All right, I've been live for 2 hours and 40 minutes now, and I said I was only going to do 2 hours this evening. Gosh almighty, it is time to go. Starting a cult pays better. Yeah, exactly. Starting a cult pays better, so we're going to do that instead. Link in bio. I'm going to jump off, and I'm actually going to put the link in the bio as well, because I've just realized it's probably not in there. But yeah, starting a cult definitely makes more money. Sold. Link in bio. I am going to jump off now, guys. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Once I've got access back to my main account on Friday, I'll be on that one. But otherwise, I'll be live here and all the other places. Join us. Join the void. No worries. Thank you for joining me. Love you guys. Love you so much. Thanks for joining. Have a lovely evening. And I will see you tomorrow evening for more Void After Dark. Because do not forget, Wednesday is always Void After Dark. Tonight was a special surprise visit to the Void. Good night. But yes, Void After Dark will be back tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Australian Western Standard Time, GMT +8, or also known as 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, or GMT +10. So we'll see you then. Good evening. Goodbye. See you later. Goodbye TikTok first, because we got to get rid of TikTok. We've got to make TikTok shoot away. Bye. See you later, Way Too Jaded. Thank you so much for joining us. And then we're going to put our little outro music on. And we're going to have a little boogie, because TikTok's gone. And we always like to have a little boogie when TikTok's gone. And then we're going to go for our outro. And there we go. And we're out. And it's